Hello, this is your girl Pam with Pam for Christ. Um, this story right here is talking about a dog that my neighbor, in which she's just like an aunt. She's related to us or whatever, but we grew up with her, beside her. She's related, but she was, like I said, she was more like an aunt instead of saying, hey, you're a distant cousin or whatever. But everyone was very close. Everyone was very tight knit, and when we were young, she had I think maybe like one or two cats or something like that. And of course at that time we used to always get cats and animals and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess being in the country, for some reason the mailman and the gas man used to love to run over our animals. Like every week they came to the house to either deliver the mail or to deliver the gas. So that lets you know how back then it was when used to have the great big old tanks, and the gas man used to have to come and deliver and put the gas in the tanks and stuff like that. Oh, that was so long ago. But they every week they would run over one of our cats. And so I think by the time we got through crying over the cats being ran over and dead, mom was like, okay, I'm not gonna get anymore, that's it. And so we used to play with our neighbors cats. And so she didn't have a dog at the time, but she was very sympathetic when it came to animals. She loved animals. And so there was this stray dog that she had found that was on the road. And like the road we were on, it was like 1, 2, 3, I want to say it had to be at least 5 miles away from town. And so she found the dog walking on the road, like coming back towards where we stayed. And it was a stray dog. We don't know where the dog came from, because we really didn't know too tough of any of the neighbors that stayed farther down the road. They really didn't have animals like that. And the ones that they did have, they were either inside the house or they had them, like tied up or whatever. But this dog, we knew really didn't belong to anybody. So she brought the dog home. And what ended up happening was the dog was sort of hurt. And she nursed the dog back to health and stuff like that. And of course, being a kid, we were very, very, like disobedient when it came to, want to go outside and play and stuff like that. And the mama was like, no, I don't want you to go outside. So it's like your parents know stuff that you don't know. They know danger when you don't know danger. You're a kid, you just want to go outside and play. And so, this dog, we didn't realize and recognize it at first. Me and my brother, we were grown before we even thought about it, and was like, you know what, God sent that dog to actually protect us. Because like a lot of times when we were disobedient, or we were outside, or we were playing, or whether mama gave us permission or didn't give us permission, it was times that dog literally saved our life. Now mind you, with me being in Mississippi and me being from the country, especially back in those days, the early 80s, we had like wild animals. We still was looking at deers, back in the backyard, foxes, bears. I think by that time the panthers started fading out. There were only a few towns that still had panthers and stuff like that that they hadn't killed yet. But that's like a whole nother story, just even talking about the panthers. But when it rained, we had like the alligators and crocodiles and stuff like that. They used to wash up in our yard, because the creek was right there. And we saw so many different type of animals and birds, and just animals and foxes and stuff like that. Animals you wouldn't see now, but that was very, very common back then, because we were in the woods, and they used to do like a lot of hunting and stuff like that or whatever. And that sort of helped to control like a lot of the the animal population. But we would go outside and we would play and stuff like that. And like I said, in the times when we were being disobedient and God knew we were being disobedient, that dog that my auntie / neighbor found and brought home, we would hear that dog. It was a field that was behind our house, and we would hear the dog like barking, and we would hear a fight. You hear the rustling in the bushes and the trees. You hear a fight going on, and it's like the dog come out like bleeding and limping, but we don't know what the dog fighting. But it's like after we start smelling like the animal is deceased, and we start smelling the body of the animal, we go back there, we're like, oh, that was a snake, or oh, that was a fox, or oh, that was a we looking at the different animals that the dog has literally went and killed, because those animals we're liable to attack us. But we kids, we don't know. We just out there playing. But the animals out there, hungry and thirsty, ready to sink their teeth into a whole bunch of little kids that really we wouldn't be able to fend them off because we were little kids. And so that dog, oh my God, that dog lasted for so long. I think by the time that dog died, we were like, I think 10 years later before that dog like really died off. But that dog is like, I promise you, every week that dog was fighting off a different animal or something out there in the trees, the bushes, the field, or the woods, making sure that it didn't come, across to us to harm us. And like I said, we never saw that. Dog is like literally being sent by God to protect us, because if not, there are a lot of things that I feel and my brother feel that would have happened to us if that dog wasn't there. So I see why people are so, very, very attached to their animal, because their animal are, protection for them. And they love those animals so much. And I see why, because like I said, those animals literally, save their lives, as far as like, just having a companion, or either, warding off something that can potentially harm, their owner. But this was like I said, a dog that came out the blue, because she didn't have any, but this was a dog that came out the blue that literally fought to keep the kids, innocent kids, safe at the time. And, like I said, every week it was something different. It was a different animal that we would find that was dead, where we saw the dog fighting at, and auntie/neighbor, she knew that, and she would always nurse the dog back to health. And like 2-3 days later, the dog is back outside, literally just sitting and watching us play. It did nothing but sit and watch us play. It didn't participate. That dog would just sit and watch us. And when the dog heard something that was in the distance, or in the woods, or in the field, or in the grass, all of a sudden the dog would get up, run over there. We hear and a whole bunch of rustling around. The dog come back out limping and bleeding, and we looking like, well, what in the world? And then, like I said, a week later, we finding, dead animal bodies. And we're like, okay, so that animal really wanted to harm us, but we didn't know. But like I said, I feel that animals can be little angels too. God can send these animals to help to protect, people as well. But like I said, there's no telling what would have happened. That dog has killed so many poisonous snakes that tried to cross over while we were outside playing. I'm like, that dog done killed a rattle, or a black we had so many poisonous and dangerous snakes back there. Oh my goodness, it was ridiculous. But that dog literally, killed so many different, like I said, snakes and reptiles, and it even got to fighting with a alligator one day. It was so funny. And knowing good what, the dog couldn't win, but that dog kept going up to it, scratching it and falling back, scratching it, like pawing it and stuff like that. It was so funny, because we had actually watched that one day, after it had rained real hard, and one of the alligators had swept up on the yard. But like I said, that dog was awesome. That was like our super dog. He was like our super pup. But I just wanted to share that story with you guys. But like, share, and subscribe. And if you have an animal, or if you have a pet that, that's that awesome and does stuff like that, share with me and let me know. But I love you guys, and peace.